What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up. Listen, my dumb ass. Like, subscribe. Also, jump in the comments and talk some smack. Anyway, yeah. So it seems that a console with no games, so says the contingent, that they're outselling the PlayStation 5 in Japan. Now, I know what you're gonna say, ponies. I know what you're gonna say, donkey unicorns. You're gonna say, oh no, it's because of supply constraints. PlayStation ain't got enough consoles, and that's why. Right? That's what you're gonna say. And to that, what do I say to that? I say, well, I said it before in another video. Poor management on Sony's part, where they can't even muster up the funds to get consoles made, or I don't know how that happened. Regardless, doesn't matter. And a more important point is this: people will not buy something that they don't want. If it's hot trash garbage, they're not gonna buy it, regardless if what they really want isn't available. Why would you buy something that you don't want because the thing that you want isn't available? That makes no sense. It's like, yo, I'm gonna give me a Ferrari, son. You go to the dealership, they got Yugos. They got a Yugo Slavia car right there. Like, boom, here you go, boy. It's red. It's Ferrari red. You gonna buy that? No, you're not. You're gonna wait for your Ferrari. You're gonna wait for your Tesla. You're gonna wait for your whatever, your Mach 3. You know what I mean? So that's not an excuse. That's not that's not how that works. Supply and demand. Guess what? Sony is failing in the supply and demand game right now. And Xbox is winning in that. And here are the numbers. The numbers. Now, these numbers are more better. I don't like the way that they listed this, because basically they listed it as the most, I guess, cumulative hardware. That's how they listed the order. But if you want to do it week by week, like this week, this is what Switch sold. Switch Lite, Switch OLED. PS5 only sold 2,371 units. Xbox Series X sold more. Xbox Series S sold more. Separately, both Xboxes sold more than one singular PlayStation. And the other PlayStation Digital Edition, 664 units. What's going on? They should just cancel that one, because nobody cares. You know what I mean? So combined, Xbox sold 6,695. That was quick math. Anyway, yeah, that's a lot more than 2,300 and, well, it's like 2,900 or whatever, under 3,000. And so, like I said, the ponies, the donkey unicorns, the fans, the fanboys, they'll be like, oh, supply constraint. That's not what's going on. What's going on is, here's what's going on. Okay, Sony made a grave miscalculation this generation. A humongous one. Humongous, that's how I'm gonna say it. Humongous. I like humongous. That sounds better. So let's talk about Japan specifically, because that's what we're talking about, right? So Japan historically has been a place where, you know, people don't usually have huge places of dwellings, houses and such. You know, they have little rooms. Generally speaking, they're not big people. And they are often turned off by giant electronics. Now, Sony, as a Japanese company, knows this. They know this. They knew it when the PlayStation 4 came out, and they were looking at the Xbox One, and it was like, that's a big old ugly VCR. PlayStation 4 is barely smaller, but it's smaller enough to be like, yeah, let's do that. Does Sony even pay attention to what their successes were in the past, and really look at it, and really look at, you know, what they're doing in certain regions? Here's my thing. I don't think Sony cares. Sony's like, how many people, how many sold, how many people buying games, consoles in Japan? Not a lot. Psst, whatever. They're not our target audience anymore. It's Europe and America. That's what's going on. They don't care about Japan. They barely care about anybody. They just care about that money, of course. But in not caring about Japan, they have created a product that is arguably aesthetically ugly as hell mainly because, not it's ugly, it's too big. Like, you ever see, I don't know, like, if there's like, I mean, some people have fetishes, so I'm not yucking your yum, but if you see a gorgeous woman, she's so gorgeous, she's really gorgeous, and she's 9 feet tall. I'm like, damn, she's pretty, but she's too big. I can't. I mean, 9 feet, I don't think anybody's 9 feet, but let's say 7 foot. There's 7 foot people out there, right? 7 foot tall, gorgeous woman. But some dudes be like, let's go. That's my jam. Let's go. Some people like, nah, I don't like big lady. Make me feel like a little man. You know, it'll turn some people off. What we're talking about is Japan. What we're talking about is Japan, who traditionally likes little electronics. Why do you think the Switch is selling so well? Small, put it in your pocket. Let's go. What's the next smallest console? Xbox Series S. Selling like crazy. What's the next smallest console after the S? Xbox Series X. Selling like crazy. What's the next smallest console? Okay, I'm gonna take that and throw it away because the digital version ain't selling because they are literally not making any of them. They're like, yeah, nah, we just created a digital version so that we can say we have a $399 system. We're not making them, not really, and it costs us too much money to make those anyway. And they say, oh, we're making a profit on the PlayStation 5s now. They were talking about the disc version, not the discless version. They're not making money off of that. So, yeah, and you notice how they didn't say nothing about it. You notice how they omit that right there. So, okay, whatever. But anyway, the point is, we're not gonna make this long and belabored. But the point is that Sony's slipping. Sony is slipping, and it is not 100% about. It is not totally about supply constraints. It is about supply and demand, and it's also about people wanting Xbox. And you ask yourself, why do they want an Xbox? Xbox is trash. They ain't got no games. That's the craziest thing about this whole situation. They really don't have any games. I'm gonna tell you why. I exactly know why. One, Game Pass is pretty dope, right? Game Pass, blah blah blah. But that's not it. That was like the thing before. But now, Starfield, right? Games like that. Games like Call of Duty, all the Activision Blizzard stuff. That's why. They like, yo, wait, I could buy a little baby console that's cute. It'll fit in my little dorm, my little room, you know what I'm saying, in Japan. And I could get Call of Duty on Game Pass. Psst, let's go. As opposed to spending $70, $80, $90, $100 on a PlayStation 5 version. I mean, look, Xbox is doing all the right moves to make it appetizing, to make it like, that looks delicious over there. Let me get that little S. Let me get that little man. That's what they call him, the Lord, the Iron Lord podcast. I was watching that today. They funny. Little man. I'm gonna start calling it that too. You know what I'm saying? They getting little man, and it was kind of like the best thing that Xbox could do as far as strategy. And I'm thinking like down the line, like they like, oh, we're gonna retool their streaming puck thing. What was it called? Not Lockhart. I can't remember what it's called. Wow, that's okay though. But they're gonna retool that. And like I said in another video, I think they might try to make the S, a variant of the S, a handheld portable. If they could make the S into a Switch-like device, because I believe that the Steam Deck is AMD, I believe. So it's literally, they're halfway there already. Their technology is there. They could basically, okay, Xbox could do this. They could make a Steam Deck clone, right? With whatever they want to put in it. Branded Xbox Series P. Ooh, that would smack Sony right in the face. Xbox SP. Right? And I would buy one of those. If it played games natively, like how the Switch does, not so great, but resolution's down, but you got a small screen, so it doesn't matter, right? But it played games natively, you could stream, of course. It would probably be the best streaming device outside of an actual computer with a big old graphics card. But as a portable device, and you don't have to have detachable things. No, that's unnecessary. But if they could do that, if they did that, sold. You know how many people would buy that? That coupled with Game Pass, coupled with Call of Duty, coupled with all the games that's coming, Starfield, Forza Motorsport, Horizon, Hot Wheels 5, let's go. I think that's what they're working on. Because you think about it, right? Has Xbox ever made a portable console? Portable video game? They have never done it. But their hardware team is killing it. If y'all haven't been paying attention for the past, 5 years or so, I think they have passed Sony as far as, I wouldn't say like televisions or anything, because they have like no experience in that. But you look at the phones that they have made, and you could laugh at it. They had Nokia, but that was Nokia owned by Microsoft. It wasn't really Microsoft making the phones. They branded them as Windows phones, but it was still Nokia. But they're making phones now. The Surface phones, the Duo, that's what it's called, Surface Duo. That's a Microsoft hardware product. And it's a good, it's way overpriced, but that's what the price is for those type of devices. It's awesome. I was looking at it, I was like, yo, that looks like a 3DS real quick. It's got 2 touch screens. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. But not for me, obviously. But they have stepped their hardware game up so much in the past years that I'm starting to wonder if Sony has lost touch with the things that made them what they were. I'm not saying what they are, because what they are right now is a giant question mark. You're like, what? Yeah, what is Sony? Are they really? Is it really about exclusives anymore, or they don't care? Are they going to be a third-party publisher? They literally are a third-party publisher already. I know I said this before, but MLB The Show 2 years in a row, day one Game Pass. Sony's a PlayStation games on Xbox day one, Game Pass. If you have Game Pass and you have a PlayStation 5, why would you buy the PlayStation 5 version? Just play it on Xbox. That's what's up. So Xbox, Microsoft, the Surface team, I don't know what the actual hardware team is called, but let's call them the Surface team. They have been doing a thuck thizzle for a minute, and it's starting to show. It's not starting to show. It has been showing. And you look at the Xbox Series X, and you look at the Xbox Series S, and you look at the PlayStation 5, and I look at the PlayStation 5, and I'm like, these fools are so living in the past that their consoles look like they're in the past. They tried to make it all sexy and curvy with fins and stuff. Yo, we're cool. We pop our collars. It didn't work, though, because I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what is this? Their hardware team is slipping. Now, Mark Cerny is the best thing that's happening for Sony right now as far as the hardware side, because if Mark Cerny wasn't there, they would be in deep, deep trouble. Mark Cerny's like, yo, how can we do this real quick and cheap and dirty? So they took a PlayStation 4 Pro and just beefed up the specs, put the new chip in it, call it a day. That's what the PlayStation 5 is. If you don't believe me, go look at the specs. They can say, oh, we got this and that, and the Leviathan, and got all these funky names, but it's like, no. The IO's faster, SSD, blah, blah, blah. Different, faster CPU. Come on, son. It's got the same CUs as the PlayStation 4 Pro. That doesn't sound like next gen to me. I'm just saying. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Go in the comments, yell at me, tell me how wrong I am, because I'll answer back. And everything. It's all good. It's all talking. It's all video games. It's all fun. I appreciate you hanging out. Bleepity bloop. I'll see you next time. To the week.